Today, I want to tell you the beautiful story of Mehdi and Katerina, one of the most touching romances I've ever heard. Mehdi was 23 years old when he saw Katerina in their general history class and fell in love with her right away. Katerina was a girl with long black hair and smiling eyes. Mehdi was studying civil engineering and Katerina was in public health. One day, before class had even started, Katerina was sitting alone in the empty classroom. Mehdi walked in through the door and greeted her with a friendly smile. Katerina said hello back, but she was so nervous that she didn't smile. She just gave a cold hello. With a shaky voice, Mehdi asked her, "What are you studying?" And Katerina answered, "Public health." Anyway, they started talking, and Mehdi got her home phone number. Back in those days, there were no cell phones yet, and communication was much harder than today, but somehow sweeter and more lasting. The two became friends, and their feelings for each other grew stronger every moment, until one delightful spring day, Mehdi finally proposed to Katerina. Katerina, who was overjoyed and couldn't contain her happiness, said yes. A few months later, they got married. Life for these two was like a sweet dream, and time passed happily. A year later, their eldest son, John, was born and filled the whole family with joy. 3 years after that, Katerina got pregnant with twins. Two beautiful girls named Amanda and Eva came into the world. I always say to myself that Mehdi and Katerina were so lucky. Not only did they know exactly what they wanted from life, but they were incredibly similar to each other. Mehdi always told Katerina, "You and I were made for each other." It's so strange that in this big, busy world, we found one another. When John turned 15, he went to a boarding school. Around the same time, Mehdi had to travel to Kuwait for an oil project, where he would work as a supervising engineer. The project wouldn't last more than 3 months. Amanda and Eva were sent to their Aunt Lily's house, and Mehdi traveled to the Middle East with his wife, Katerina. Things were chaotic in Iraq, Kuwait's neighbor, but for this loving couple, none of that mattered. On March 20, 2003, with only about 20 days left until the project ended, the US government used Kuwait's soil to launch the invasion of Iraq. That day, the project was temporarily stopped, and Mehdi and Katerina returned home. Mehdi resigned from the project and never went back to Kuwait. For several years, Katerina had been feeling something wrong with her left leg. It was during the week of their wedding anniversary that she went to the doctor, got an MRI, and learned she had MS. This news threw the whole family into emotional shock. But the family, including Katerina, didn't know much about the disease at first. After a while, though, they came to terms with it. From then on, the couple decided to take even better care of each other, and Katerina quickly started treatment. Time began to fly by, and every year, the symptoms got worse for Katerina. First, walking became hard, then her left hand gradually felt weaker, and little by little, she felt she wasn't the same person physically anymore. Through all of this, Mehdi was by her side. He especially made sure she didn't lose her spirit along with her strength. That's why he decided to take the family on trips 2 or 3 times a year. Sometimes far away, sometimes closer to home. Almost every week, they went on picnics for lunch and enjoyed their time together. They were a close-knit family with their kids, and no challenge could tear them apart. Mehdi took courses in massage and physiotherapy, attending specialized classes so he could help his wife. Every day, he personally used what he learned to support Katerina. The 3 children were busy with their own lives and work, living happily. Mehdi and Katerina always made time for their kids too, and never neglected how they were doing. Eventually, because of her situation, Katerina fell a few times at home and on the street, but thankfully she wasn't seriously hurt. After several years of using a cane, she finally decided to switch to a wheelchair. If someone had told her on the first day that she'd need one, it would have been much harder, but now accepting it was easier for her. She was happy to have a family, a loving husband, and motivated children. She wasn't alone, and that was her greatest strength. Years passed, and Katerina grew physically weaker and she got older. Through it all, she relied on Mehdi the most for many daily tasks. Their love was truly remarkable. Mehdi always told Katerina, "If it weren't for you, I would never have held on to life. I thank God every day for giving you to me." And Katerina would say, "Before you, I was like a dead person. After you, I came alive. When I think about before we met and married, I realize how unhappy I really was." Days, months, and years went by until 2019 arrived, and the world faced a massive pandemic called COVID-19. That year, the family was very worried about Katerina because she was physically very weak, and catching the virus would be far more dangerous for her than for others. In 2020, when so many people were getting COVID, Mehdi caught it too. At first, he wasn't scared and tried to stay away from Katerina so he wouldn't infect her, but his condition worsened quickly. On September 1st, he was hospitalized, and 5 days later, unbelievably, he passed away, leaving Katerina alone forever. Mehdi was the pillar of the family. Without him, a thick darkness fell over Katerina's and the children's world. For Katerina, Mehdi wasn't just a husband or friend, he was part of her very existence. With his death, she felt like she had died too, and would never laugh again for the rest of her life. Katerina had to adapt to the new reality. It was hard, but every human has to adapt somehow. They hired a full-time caregiver for her, and Katerina spent her time watching her children and the growth of her 2 grandchildren. At night, before sleep, she would talk to Mehdi and express her love. Sometimes she complained to him, not knowing what to hug in his place. Often, she saw Mehdi in her dreams. Most of the time, the same scene repeated. She dreamed Mehdi was riding a bicycle on the road leading to the woods and lake behind their neighborhood, with Katerina sitting in front. Then she would be surprised he's alive and ask, "Where have you been all this time?" Just as he turned to kiss him, Mehdi would suddenly vanish, and Katerina would wake up startled. Every morning, Katerina told this dream to her caregiver, but now she was an old woman and no longer feared death. Her condition had worsened, but she tried to keep her spirits up until the morning of April 30, 2025. When she didn't wake up from sleep and closed her eyes to the world forever. Katerina's caregiver, whose name was Jean, realized she wasn't waking up. As she panicked and reached for the phone to call an ambulance, she suddenly thought to herself, "I wonder if Katerina saw that dream of Mehdi again last night. Maybe this time, Mehdi didn't disappear. Maybe he gave her a kiss and Katerina decided to go with him."